Here we put a picture of all of our workers. We are a big group. We are located in Bogota, Colombia. And now I'm going to tell you about the company. The company manufactures and sells a variety of cardboard packaging. It is part of the Smurfit Kappa International Group of companies. Headquarters is located in Ireland. The company was founded by Camilo Gonzalez. There in the organizational chart, you can see a picture of him. He's a dentist by training and original profession, but he turned to a successful entrepreneur 25 years ago that he started the company. We have a lot of experience in the production of sheets, packaging, and components in corrugated cardboard. Also, the company has advanced capabilities in the graphic and structural design that allow to carry out a complete consultancy to provide efficient packaging solutions. We are committed with the environment. We count with ISO 14001 and FSC, that is Forest for All and Forever. It's to protect all the animals and also the green part. Here we can show you some of our products. We have a variety, and also we design for specific things that our clients need, but our general products are regular boxes, RSC, shelf-ready packaging, agro-business trays, telescopic boxes for flowers, laminated boxes, packaging for newborn chickens, packaging and files for office documents, packagings for meat, cardboard rolls, interior forms, divider, pad, and bagging box. That is a new project that we are creating to replace plastic packaging. Here, now we are going to talk to you about our history.
Smurfit Kappa was founded in 1934, making cardboard boxes and packaging for the Irish market. It was acquired by Jefferson Smurfit in 1938, and in 2005, Smurfit merged with Kappa Packaging. This becoming the Europe's largest manufacturer of corrugated and cardboard packaging. The company continued to grow with over 45,000 employees and 350 production sites across the world. Our global headquarters is in Dublin, with regional headquarters in Amsterdam and Miami. Colombia is one of these countries where Smurfit Kappa expands. In 2001, Smurfit bought Packing from Camilo Gonzalez, and after this moment, Packing joined this group.
Can I ask one clarifying question? So what exactly is the relationship between the Irish parent company and the Colombian company? Is it a partnership? Is it a subsidiary? Is it, how exactly does it work? Because you have...
We are directly part of this group. So we have our operation in Colombia, and it's independent from Dublin, but all the results and everything is demanded by them.
Makes sense, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so about Packing itself, it was created in 1992. In 1993, we started the operations in a local way. In 1997, there was another company called Benepa. It was from Venezuela. And then after that, Smurfit Kappa buys the 100% of the company. In 2008, we make an update in the corrugator, which is the principal machine, and we increase our productive capacity to 6 million square meters per month. The competition in Colombia is very tough. Right now, this is an image of the market share. We have the 8% of the market right now in Colombia, and these are our main competitors: Cartones América, Corrugados Andina, Empaques Industriales, Empacor, Propac, and Cartonera Nacional.
Now we are going to talk about our customers. The global holding company sells its products to over 33 countries worldwide, and the goal is to expand into many markets as possible. The customers are all kinds of retail and manufacturers, and the following figure shows the distribution of the customers by sector. So 1% is from flowers, 6% is agricultural, 37% industrial, and 56% is FMCG.
Fast-moving consumer goods.
And an
What
example.
exactly is that? So what exactly is the fast-moving consumer goods? What does that represent?
Yes, there are products that are sold quickly and at a relative low cost. Examples.
So that's basically retail, right?
Yes, retails.
Mm-hmm.
Retails. Like, but focusing on beverage and drugs and consumables.
An example for our big customers are Clorox, Mary Kay, that are some brands that I think that you know in an international way, but we manage different clients in each country. Here is the distribution that we have in this moment in Colombia. We didn't export to other countries because we have like our partners there, because as how we explained before, we are in 33 countries, so we have like another different business there. So we focus in Colombia, and now we are in all this part that you can see in the map. Like, for example, Antioquia, Valle, Tolima, Santander, Cauca, Caldas, that we are surrounded from them.
But 60% of our production is delivered in a local way, really close to our city.
Yes, because we are a little bit limited by the transport. The transport is so expensive, and it increases a lot the cost for the clients. And we can say that an advantage that we have to be part of the Smurfit group is that we have different tools that are innovative for our clients. For example, we have paper to box. Paper to box is a software which selects and creates the most suitable composition of papers to meet the required packaging performance.
Another one is the Pack Expert, which is calculates the exact strength required for a packaging, taking into account all physical constraints in the supply chain, including transport, storage, handling temperature conditions, humidity levels, and that's it.
Also, we have another tool that is InnoBook. InnoBook is a unique database of the latest packaging designs filled with the contribution from over 700 designs in 33 countries.
And there is another, which is Shelf Viewer. It's a database of images from shelf-ready packaging around the world and in different retailers. With these images, you can see how other producers are using packaging in the shelf.
And finally, we have Magic Hat, That is a methodology to bring saving at each stage of the supply chain based on the development of primary packaging or secondary. This is like our differentiation of our competitors, because they didn't have these like innovation tools. Because if you listen about cardboard, sometimes it sounds that it's something boring, but we try to show like a different experience to our clients.
So if I may ask here, you technically can make any cardboard box, right? So you say you have all those perfect pack and paper to box. So you have designs of like thousands of different cardboard boxes, right? And so you can, like, for example, can you make a box like this? If you see my video, would you be able to make one like this?
Like a pizza box?
Yeah. So something like that. And you would be able to print the picture on it as well, right?
Yes, we have, it's laminated cardboard packaging. It's a little bit different, but we can do it. We use like a print sheet, and then we corrugate it into the cardboard.
It takes more time, but we can do it.
So if I came to you and I said, I need a box with these sizes for this kind of product, your software will be able to design the best, you know, shape and form of that box, right? And you will be able to then make the actual product.
Yeah,
that's right.
And depending of what product it is, it gives us like the perfect combination of papers for give you the best solution to your package.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, that is
I've never seen how they make boxes. So
it would be really great to see samples that, you know, if you don't have today, that's fine, but that would be just so interesting. I know we years ago had a plastics company. We got to see the floor, and we learned so much about recycling plastic that we just really didn't think about before. So this is just a really great insight into your industry.
Yeah, we can show you some pictures of interesting things that we have, because in this moment we are creating our online shop so that people can buy there like different things, the typical box,
not only packaging, but for example, furniture, things for decoration based on
paper.
Sorry?
You mean furniture made from paper, from cardboard?
Yes, like chairs and tables and things like that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And it's for the people when you sit down.
It's
I
was
at the World Expo in 2000 in Germany, in Hanover. And so, you know, like each country had a different pavilion. And so Japan had one made entirely out of paper. So they had a car made out of paper. They had the whole building made out of paper. And it didn't really look like paper because much of that paper was like, you know, industrial strength. So it looked more like wood, but it was basically all paper. So.
Yeah. So here, I'm going to try to show you like some pictures that I have in my screen.
The only thing that I think it's the enemy of cardboard packaging is the humidity, because at the end it's paper, so we have to protect that for the product from that.
There is a very interesting question while we're waiting for your presentation. Win Yan Chen is asking if you're working only B2B, or you're also working, so business to business, or do you, I'm not sure, would you sell to private customers as well?
No, right now we are only B2B, but with this online shop that we are trying to launch next year, we want to approach with, have an approach with the customer.
Mm-hmm. And so you did show some geography, but then there is a question about your staff. So are all your employees in the same location, or you have people all around the country, or maybe all around the world?
No, right now, as packing, our workers are located in Cundinamarca, everyone. But we have sales representative in other cities, like Medellin and Cali.
And how many employees do you have at your company level, and then globally? Do you know the numbers? roughly?
Yes, company level, we are 140 employees, and in world level, including all the group, 4,500 people around the world.
Yep.
I don't know that if in this moment you can see my screen where I have like.
Yes, we see your screen. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing is it's showing the whole, not the presentation view, but the slides view. So I'm not sure if you need to go to, I think you need to go to the presentation view too.
No, es que tu presentación. Copiamos. Archive. Sí.
Hello, hello. So you cannot see them, but you can see us. Okay.
There are some examples of all the things that you can make in carton. This is a real clock, also a calendar, and I don't know if all around the world there is a play that is parques.
Parques or parchis?
Parches. I don't know if you know that.
So it's a game.
Parcheesi board game. Yes.
Yep.
And all this is made of carton, and the idea is to make a lot of things like that to put in our online shop.
Yep, please go ahead. Yeah.
And here is like the examples that we have, but we would like to have more ideas that the students can give us to put in our online shop.
If you have any question, we can.
So it looks like you're doing not only packaging, but you also do all kinds of other things. You mentioned furniture, and here it looks something like a game or toys. So just about anything out of cardboard, right?
Yeah, we want to innovate day after day.
Yeah, yeah. What is your percentage of sales that is not from the packaging? All those games and furniture and things like that. Do they constitute a substantial portion of your sales?
No, right now it's like a project. We are not selling that, only giving to our actual customers as gift,
A present.
as present, but we want to sell them.
Yeah, but we are going to sell them online. So I think that next month we are going to start with 3 products, and we are going to see how it's going on.
So there is a question, somebody is asking who is designing all those games. Is it something you do in-house, or do you just get somebody else's designs?
In-house. We have a team of packaging engineering and designers that are working on these kind of things.
Would you be interested, there is another question, would you be interested in ideas for more products out of cardboard? So maybe, I don't know, let's say there is a student somewhere in Pakistan who sees an interesting product made out of paper in his country. Would you be interested in hearing those ideas? Maybe you can try to make something similar?
Yes, we are open to listen about different ideas around the world, and maybe we can
implement here,
yes.
All right, okay. So yeah, please go on. So sorry we keep interrupting you. So we have quite a few questions for you. I see we have at this time 15 open questions, but we'll get to them in a minute once you're done with the presentation.
I think we already finished.
So
okay. If you have some doubt, you can ask now.
All right, well then let's close the slides so we can see you better. And so we have more questions for you. So geography still, I see we have quite a few questions about geography. So then are you interested in ideas for how to expand your business in Colombia, or are you also interested in ideas for how to expand into new countries?
I think in this moment we are interested in ideas from Colombia, because we are focused in packing in this moment. Can you see us?
Just a second, I think I pressed something. Yeah. So then can you explain a little bit more in more detail the actual, the challenge? So what exactly the student should focus on to make this most useful for you? So
okay, we want to know if we can expand to other markets. For example, for the online shop, we would like to have more ideas, creative things, because all the things that you can imagine, we can produce them in cardboard. So we would like to make like no, like a new experiences for our customers.
yeah. We have someone named Henry Vargas from Venezuela who keeps asking a lot of questions. Henry, I have added you to our panel, so if you unmute your microphone, you can ask your questions directly. So because I already lost track, you asked quite a few, and all of them are very good questions. So Henry, if you want to unmute your microphone and just ask your questions, I guess that would be an option. And meanwhile, a few questions about your marketing. So how do you promote your products at this time? How do you do your marketing?
In this moment, I think that we have a problem with that, and also we need help because we didn't have impacting a marketing department. So in this year that we are going to start the online shop, we want to have Instagram, Facebook, but we would like to have like ideas all around the world because we don't know in this moment how to focus and how it will be interesting that the people visit our social media.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There is a question about environmentally friendly. So several people are asking, what makes your products environmentally friendly? Do you care about the environment? And questions of that nature. So if you can maybe address that issue.
Okay, so here we are going to explain you a little bit more about the certification of FSC that here
we are certificated in the Forest Stewardship Council, which means that all our supply chain is verified and controlled. Our paper comes from sustainable forest that are planned to use for the paper industry. We are not like using some random forest or random plants around the world. We use our own forest to use it for paper. And also, well, you know, the paper is 100% recyclable.
Yep.
And reusable. So
now, there's a question from Mehak Renu, and I'm not sure what country he's in. So the question is, what is the waste of your manufacturing, and then how is it treated? So I assume in your factory you probably have some waste, right? So what exactly, you know, like what are those side products and what do you do with them?
We take all this waste and we send it to the forest part and we recycle it, all the waste. We use again it to make paper again and to make board again.
All the material that we use to produce our boxes is recycled, and a little part is for new paper. But we try to use like recycled paper because it is very easy to use it again for the production.
More or less 80% of our material is recycled, and 20% or less is virgin fibers. Mm-hmm. And each fiber can be recycled at least 7 times. And it became shorter and shorter. So we need to put a little bit of new material, which is long fibers of virgin material.
And so where do you buy your raw materials? Is it all Colombian, local, or do you buy the...
Yes, we produce it.
It's local. This Morfit Group is one of the biggest producers of papers. We have our own machines for paper located in Cali and Barranquilla, and they are our suppliers all around Colombia. We have like, we are vertical, vertical
Integration, yeah.
integration. Yes.
Now, here's a tough question. Okay, let's see if you can answer this one. So Mina Kandeli is asking that, so she went on your website and could not find your mission statement, vision statement, and yeah, basically mission and vision statement. So do you have those? Do you know what your mission statement is? And don't ask what, actually, I think I can recall the mission statement of my business school, right? So, I mean, yeah, not by heart, but we can find it. So do you have a formal mission statement? And if you do, what is it?
No, we don't have it a formal. I think that our manager don't believe in that like formally. So, but at the end, we want to support our customers to design and create the best packaging possible for their products and to be innovative
and give them like the best service. This is our focus. Give the best service and sell them like an experience for the customer.
Yes, and I'm sorry, the question was from Carlos Cardona, so I looked at her own name. So that's a very good question. So we teach students to, you know, to write mission statements and vision statements, but then it seems like once it's real business, you don't have time for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So. Yes, that is like the normal thing that is in the websites, but our manager decided that he didn't want to put any specific mission or vision.
Yeah, and Carlos must be an MBA student because he's asking another tough question. What are your 5 and 10-year goal, 10-year goals? So where do you see your company in 5 to 10 years?
What we want is to be the best plant in Colombia. At least plant from the Smurfit group. We want to be recognized as the best plant with less waste, with low level of waste, and with a complete cycle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds good. Carlos, I see that you wanted to ask your questions personally. So if you unmute your microphone, go ahead and ask. You seem to have a lot of questions.
Hi, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, yes.
Okay. So one of the things that I was doing, I went to your website and then I saw different places where I could find information about your company. And some of the things that I wasn't able to find, like I mentioned before, it wasn't your mission statement or what you were planning to do. Another question is, do you guys plan to also do containers for glass, or maybe instead containers with plastic, or you don't have the capabilities at this moment?
No, we don't want to be in that industry. We just want to create products paper-based.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's why we create like back-in-box that I can show you later. Another presentation.
Okay, so yeah, another question I have, if I go back to my notes, sorry about that. I think I might have lost it.
We seem to have right here.
Your company, you're specifically trying to...
Seems like Carlos' video has
Frozen.
Yeah. But yeah, so there were a few other people who were asking if you're looking into the possibility of making products out of plastic, for example, but it seems like paper, that's your specialty, right? So you're staying with paper. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. Yes, absolutely.
And because we want to be very sustainable and eco-friendly. So for us, plastic is not...
it's not eco-friendly. That's why we are trying to give to the companies another ideas for the packaging, because normally the bottles are made of plastic and all of that, and we are creating like some innovations to replace that, and that is back-in-box. I think that in our webpage you can see it in more detail.
Go ahead.
Okay, I had a question about in the US we are struggling with trying to move from especially paper or plastic bags, and I know that was part of your slides, in trying to find a creative way of a handle box, maybe replacing some plastic packaging. And then in grocery stores, there's a new movement where the produce is no longer packaged with cellophane and plastic products. So those could be possible innovations in grocery. And so what are your thoughts there? And then my other question was, when I get things from Amazon.com or Wayfair, are those the types of clients that you're looking for? Or, I mean, we'd be so large to tap into their value chain, but just questions along those lines.
Well, right now here in Colombia, the e-commerce is very new. It's just starting. But what we want to do is to work with our customers to create the most efficient packaging for the products, because sometimes we see, I don't know, something really small in a big box with a lot of plastic fill or things inside. So we want to work hand by hand with them to create better packaging.
Yeah, we are trying to support them because it is a new thing here in Colombia to buy things online. Some people didn't feel safe, so we are trying to support them. But sometimes it is difficult because about the size of the boxes. Because if we create different size, it is not efficient for us the production. So we have to find like a solution to make a standard size, because if we make different size, it's not efficient for us.
Mm-hmm. There is a very interesting question from an anonymous at India. I don't know the name, but so how are you different from your competition? You said that you hold 8% of the market, and there are about a dozen companies that make cardboards. So how are you different? What makes you better, or perhaps what is that your competitors are better at?
I think that we can differentiate because the tools that we have, that the ones that we tell you, that InnoBook, Magic Hat, there are different things that we use to interest our customers to buy us and give them like a better experience. We focus like in the value selling, no in the low cost.
Mm-hmm. Can you explain a little bit more? So in the challenge, you are asking the students to help you more specifically with the use of your smart tools. And so can you explain what exactly that is? So what exactly are you asking, how to promote that capability more? Or are you asking for ideas for how those tools can be put to use? Can you explain a little bit more about what is expected from the students?
Okay, I think that those tools are more focused in our social media, because we don't have like marketing tools to promote all the value selling that we are making to our customers. So we want like a guide, an idea, how we can make like creative social media to get like a better position in the market.
Okay. And then so people keep asking questions about your relationships with other regional subsidiaries around the world. So the headquarters are in Dublin, and you said you also have one in Miami and one in Europe somewhere, right? In Frankfurt. And so, but then or Amsterdam, yes. But then I assume there are also regional offices in other locations. So do you operate independently, or do you occasionally interact with them as well?
We are independently. We work independently in the commercial part, but we share all these tools and the equipment and the people around the world. So that I think it's an advantage for us, because we can access to information from designs and from shelves around the world.
Okay, all right. Karen, do you have any questions? I still had a few questions from myself, and I'm looking.
So we're looking for marketing ideas for social media and promotion. We're also looking for possible innovations with new types of products and packaging. So those are really the focus areas that you're looking for.
And I see Tamta is asking to ask her question. And so Tamta, I'll just add you here, because again, we have so many questions that I sometimes lose track. So Tamta, if you unmute your microphone, you can ask your question directly. Go ahead. And I'm not sure if Tante is still here, and I'm worried about Carlos, so he disappeared after asking his question, so I'm trying to see. So, yeah. There is an interesting question from Mihak Ranu. What are your challenges, or what challenges do you face at this time? So if you had to say this is our biggest challenge at this time, what would that be?
Our biggest challenge? Sorry.
Yes.
For this year, okay. We want to have more visibility because we think that we have great quality, great machinery, but people doesn't know us at all. Or
so, and you said at this time you advertise primarily how? You said social media, but since you work B2B, I guess you would need to work directly with the companies. So how do you make yourself known to the possible buyers?
well, normally we investigate our customers and we try to contact them and call them and make a meeting to show them the products and to understand what they need to give them
Right.
a proposition.
Yeah, there is not a difficult question, but I wanted to get your answer. So Lina Ladushina, so she's asking if, did you try to work with influencers and social kind of big figures? But my understanding is that you work with those kind of, online celebrities. You work with that when you are in retail, when you're selling your products to the end customers, right? In your case, you're dealing with businesses. So someone with 1 million subscribers on Instagram, I don't think that's a person who can promote your product, right?
No.
Unless maybe once you get into those cardboard games and some unique products that may go directly to the customers.
Maybe for the, yes.
Maybe in the future when we have established our new products for customers, we may need some influencer. But right now we think it's not something we need or something that can help us.
Mm-hmm. There is an interesting question from Henry Vargas again. So what is the shareholder composition of your company? Is it a privately owned company? Is it a publicly traded company, or does it have multiple owners? Basically ownership structure.
The Smurfit Kappa Group is the owner, and here we have like a board.
Uh-huh. So then the Colombian subsidiary, it's still owned by the Irish parent company, right? So it's not
right.
a local, yeah,
Right.
Makes sense. So let me see if there is anything else. So we talked about the environmental protection, marketing, HR. So one more question then about geography, because we had a few people asking about that. So then at this time, you're not necessarily looking into expanding into new countries, right? You're more interested into trying to leverage the products and the tools you already have and establish a stronger presence in Colombia, maybe expand more globally with the new products like the games that you showed, or maybe something like that. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Because as we told you, in other countries there are different companies from the group, so they are in charge of that market.
Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Yeah. All right.
Think so. Are there regional boundaries for?
Yeah. Do you have like regional boundaries, or? So if somebody found a customer, let's say in Venezuela, would you be allowed to sell there, or you can only sell in Colombia?
We are allowed to sell in Venezuela, but we have to figure out how to deliver the product to them. And
for them, there's going to be very expensive for the transport.
Right.
So
right.
Okay. Yeah, so that's definitely logistics.
Buy the product there.
Yeah.
But at the end, if they want to pay for that, including the delivering, it's okay. We can do it.
Okay, that's good to know.
We are open.
All right, so we are officially out of time, so we're trying to keep those up to 1 hour. I want to spend just one more minute so students are asking about kind of more procedural questions. So those of you who are university students, if you're already in teams, and you should be for about a week now, so your next step is to select a company. And so once you select a company, you will let us know which one you're working on. you basically start working on the challenge. You are allowed to change your client anytime you want. So if, for example, today you choose, I don't know, Ultra Specialisti, and tomorrow you decide to switch to PAC and SAS, you can. So it's not a problem at all. So the only reason we ask that in the survey, we want to know what the balance looks like, and so kind of have an idea who chose whom, but you are allowed to change your clients. The non-student participants, the ones who are going now through the theoretical training, so you basically now just do the weekly theory tests, and you have, 3 more of those. So there will be 1 due this weekend, and then 3 more after that. So we still have about 4 weeks of training. And so this time you don't have to do anything other than the theory. So we will have the webinars both with the companies, and you're welcome to join them. And we will have them on Saturdays webinars specifically about your theoretical training and procedural questions. Again, hopefully you will be able to join us there. But other than that, so for now, you're just going through the training. And as long as you pass all 4 tests, we will place you on Teams on March 4th, if I remember correctly. And that's when you will then look at the list of the companies at that time, and as a team you will decide which one you choose, and then you will spend about 9 weeks trying to solve those challenges. PAC and SAS will be one of those companies in the late track, so when you participate, so that you already met one of them, and so as I said, there will be another 5 or 6, and you will choose any one you like. And so that's how it goes. So for now, focus on your exams. Make sure that you do all 4 of them on time, and then hopefully you will get good results as well. So, but that's the plan. All right, well, thank you so much. Any final comments, Karen? I don't know.
No, good luck. And right. You have so many exciting ways to go with this challenge. So.
Right. Yeah, and so I'm hoping that you will receive a lot of good solutions and questions, and maybe even business propositions. So we'll see how it goes.
Dr. Paz, we would like to share with everyone our emails. If you have any doubt, so I'm going to write it there.
I would be very happy if you did it. That's what I want you to do, but be very careful. We will have like 5,000 students and 1,000 kids. A few companies made that mistake. So if you have nothing better to do, because you may be getting literally like 50, 60 emails a day with questions. So if you want to do that, I'm all for it. I want you to communicate with the students as much as possible, but you may have to quit your job just to deal with the emails. So if you are up to the challenge, you can share the email. But
sometimes the best way is to funnel it through, because you might end up in the same day with 200 questions, but 80 of them are on the same topic. And so I think that maybe your team can help consolidate that and send it to you as the client.
Yeah. What we do with questions, we actually have a database of frequently asked questions. And so we have a student who is going through those questions. And so if it's a question that we can answer, maybe you already talked about it in the webinar, or maybe we already asked you and you gave us the answer, the assistant just simply copies and pastes the answer and it goes out to the students. But if it's a new question, then we come to you and say, hey, there is a question we don't know how to answer. Could you please clarify? And then once you answer that question, we add it again to the database. And so this way, if anybody else asks it in the future, we have the answer. Because the truth is that while you will be getting 50, 60 emails a day, most of them will be repetitive. So most of the questions will be, just a different team, a different student asking the same thing. So there is really no need for you to answer them one by one. So I think it will be you will have more time for growing your business But again, if you feel adventurous and if you want to share your email, I'm all for it. I want the students to communicate with you and not take my time. So your choice. So maybe send us the emails and we will, we will have them on record. And if needed, we will share them with the students so they can communicate with you directly. But otherwise, as I said, it's just too many people, you will be overflooded with emails. All right.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. Then we'll stop this meeting here. And then so for the students, we will have a webinar specifically about X-Culture tomorrow, 9 a.m. So if you have any questions about your surveys and tests and links and symposia, that will be a good time to ask. So today we focus on the company only. Tomorrow we will talk more about the project itself. All right. Well, thank you so much and have a nice day, those of you in Americas, and good night for those of you in Asia and Europe. And I hope to see you all soon.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.